All right, welcome back. Today I want to talk about something that, in particular, people who are very manipulative, controlling, and definitely narcissists or people who display strong narcissistic characteristics will do. And that is the grooming stages. I'm trying to get you all into, how can I put this? A better way of identifying when you are being manipulated and groomed in the beginning, right? With someone. Again, I have to say this when dealing with people who are manipulative, narcissistic, all of these things, the very key to them being successful is you really liking them or you really wanting to be with them, right? It doesn't work with people who are, confident or secure enough within themselves to just walk away or to cut it off and not doubt themselves, right? So if you trust yourself, if you're very good at trusting yourself and your judgment, it's hard for them to do these things to you, because as soon as you see it, you're going to call it for what it is, and you're not going to doubt yourself, and you're not going to allow them to be able to redefine what the interaction was between the two of you. You're going to know what it is. You're going to call it for what it is, and that's it. You're not going to listen to their definition of what it was and what was going on. You'll know that they're bullshitting you, and you won't pay it any mind, right? So let's start with one instance, right? For one instance, you have where you'll have a conversation, there'll be a disagreement, and you'll start, correcting them on something, or you'll start reemphasizing your position, right? Which, let's say in this instance, because in most cases this is what triggers it, you're right about what you're stating. They will try to twist it and make it seem like they don't understand. That's the first sign with a narcissist. They're going to make it seem like they don't understand what you're talking about. They don't understand what you're saying. Oh, re-explain it. I don't get it. Or they'll try to say, I don't feel that's what it is. They're trying to make you, again, first thing they want to do is make you doubt what you're saying. They want to make you question that you're not right by denying that they understand what you're saying, or blatantly saying that you're wrong, right? Pay attention to that. If you know what you're talking about and you know you're right, don't allow someone to redirect and redefine what that is. That's on them if they don't get it, not you, right? But in many cases, that's what the narcissist will do. They will sit up there and say they don't get it, they don't understand, right? And then try to make it into an argument, because that's the way to get out of it. That's the way for you to take your attention off you being right. You called them out on something, you knew what it was, so they divert. They start deflecting and omitting, just straight out omitting, and trying to make nonsense out of sense that you're given. That's number one. Number two, once it's over and they've been defeated, they know they've been defeated. They're going to try to say, many of you may have seen this, they're going to try to say, oh, I didn't like how you were raising your voice. You were yelling at me. Look for over exaggerated statements to describe your interaction. Look for over-exaggerated statements to describe your interaction with them. Look for over-exaggerated statements used to describe your interaction with them. I'll tell you why. Reason why they do this is because, oh, you were yelling. You started raising your voice at me. I felt like you were attacking me. Look for all those words that makes them out to be victimized by you, like you did something wrong. In many cases, they were, you know, making a mockery out of what you were saying, making it seem like being disrespectful to you, right? But then they try to twist it and they try to turn it around and they say, well, they felt like you were attacking them. You were yelling at them. You raised your voice and your pitch got louder. And right, when the whole time you observe them, right, being disrespectful in regards. You observe them, you know, mocking you or, you know, being passive aggressive with you, right? But they twist it and use these words. The reason why they use that, it's to establish the victim position. You were in the wrong. And the reason why they did this is because you were doing this, is because they felt like you were attacking them and all of this. Well, they're blowing that out of proportion. That's on them. They're calling it that. And they want you to participate in identifying it as that. Because the moment you start to identify the interaction as what they're saying it is, they got you. The moment you allow someone to redefine the facts of what went on and give you the way that they felt about it, you've just lost. They got you. Because facts always will override feelings. Facts always will override feelings. And that's what they're trying to get you to do. See, it's a very strategic way of molding you, grooming you. So the first position of a narcissist or a manipulative person is to establish control that suits them. The second thing is to get you to be agreeable with them and what they're saying. So you have to buy into the victimhood position. You have to buy into it for it to work. And that's how many of you get caught. Because you don't think about this. You don't think that this person is actively manipulating you out the gate. All right? When they use terms of victimhood is what I call it. You were yelling at me. You were being aggressive. And you're like, wait, that's what you're calling it. Well, we were arguing. I didn't see us as arguing. We were just having a conversation. I just happened to be making you look bad by giving you a lot of facts that you couldn't take because it was making you look bad, which means at that point, if I trust my judgment and I trust myself, I'm going to know that these are major red flags and that I should probably be looking to move away from you and cut you off because I can see where this is going. Folks, listen, when anything starts out in this way, it is a bad sign. It is a very bad sign. Things aren't going to get better. You know, it's only going to get worse because if they're coming at you in this way and they see that it works, they're not going to back off and be like, oh, well, maybe I was wrong. Right. And here's the thing. When some of you confront them about it, they usually like to wait the next day or a couple of days and then revisit it. Right. Come back. They come back to see if, OK, you knew that this was bad behavior that displayed many red flags. But I came back a few days or another day and I wanted to pick up and talk about it and still try to reinforce their position on why they thought you were wrong. Okay, I'll tell you where you messed up if you engage in it. Where you mess up is You start listening and try to see it from their point. And then what they'll usually say is, oh, maybe I misunderstood you. And I was just saying that, and I called it that. But listen, normal people don't exaggerate things that aren't really what they are. Manipulative people do that because they want to have control of the perception of that person, because it's a stronger position that they have over you to manipulate you, because they will start seeing you as gullible. You can't pick up the game. You can't pick up the manipulation that they're blatantly showing you. So when they come back and then they're, oh, maybe I missaw it as that. No, that's not a one-time thing. That's not something that you blow over very easily and just wipe off and be like, oh, they didn't know. Okay. No, they tried it and they failed because you recognized it and you stood on your position. You stood on your position. Very important. The moment they get you to be able to break and you start listening to them and, okay, well, maybe they didn't mean it that way. Maybe it was a big misunderstanding. Folks, understand this. That type of behavior, I promise you, is just not a slight misunderstanding that just happened between you and them. This is something that has happened in every situation that they've been in. And if they are, successful in still getting you to engage with them the same way, and still getting you to, in some way, believe them, you've just become agreeable to the manipulation. Think about it like this. You just signed a contract for them to manipulate you, to allow them to manipulate you. Yeah, the contract's been signed right then and there. That's how they take it. And they will continue to do it a little bit more subtle. But now they know I have an agreeable source of supply that I can manipulate. Because instead of them, when they called what they saw and they knew it was wrong, most of you know it's wrong in your mind. You can feel that it's wrong, but you doubt yourself. You doubt yourself, and you 2 days later, they come with an apology, or they're trying to make it. And another thing is when they try to collectively make, well, we both were in the wrong. We both, they're not going to take except a singular accountability being on them. They're going to try to make it all inclusive, including you into it as well. Manipulation, folks, pay attention to that. Pay attention when someone comes back and they don't just accept the accountability on their end. They try to include it and make it as you were just as responsible. Now, in some given cases, it could be that. But if you're being manipulated by a manipulator, it's always being initiated from them. And then they twist it and try to make it seem like you were the cause of it. And this is where many of you get swept into the rabbit hole, because you doubt yourself and you start to go with it. And they see it as, got him. I managed to pull that off, where they believe that they were just as guilty. And boy, does the games begin after that. They create a whole regiment because they know they have you now. They know that you are a person that is unsure of yourself, and you have poor judgment. They know that you are a person that is unsure of yourself, and you have poor judgment and poor boundaries, might I add. Your boundaries are not good at all. They automatically know it right after that interaction, which can seem so minuscule and minute, right? that you don't think anything about it. But if you notice, think back. In any situation where you had a situation like that, it was always another situation, and another situation. And every time they deflected, denied, and played the victim role. It's a never-ending cycle. A never-ending cycle. But most importantly, it is a toxic person that you're dealing with that you need to cut off expeditiously. And do not question your judgment when you see these types of behaviors. Patterns do not lie. Patterns do not lie. That is a pattern. That is a way that they have become accustomed to being and trying to control and manipulate others. Folks, be aware of that. That's all I have to say for this message. Like, share, subscribe, book a one-on-one if you want. If you want to, some things you want to work on, your own personal stuff, leave me an email. I'll get you information on how to go about that. Till next time, have a good one.